you could have thousands of CDs with you on the go in your pocket. So convenient.
Angel Knot.
Salutations to the nations. What's good, Angel Knots? It's your boy Young Sinai. So I know recently PlayStation has said that they are no longer going to be making physical games. My bad, that's my dog. You hear her? Can you see her? My bad. They're saying that they're no longer going to be making physical games for the new console. I have not looked a lot into this. I know I'm late to the party, but I really wanted to do a video about it before I watched anybody else's videos or anything like that. I mean, you know, just share my thoughts. My thoughts are going to be the same as everyone else's. Probably it's trash. You know what I'm saying? But let's just go ahead and look at this news report about it. My dog is back there like sneezing and stuff, like she's allergic to dogs or something. All right, let's see.
Big news in the gaming world today. It will soon be game over for physical discs for PlayStation consoles. It's fair to say gamers aren't happy, and it also means saving money by buying secondhand will be a thing of the past. To break it all down for us, I'm joined by tech expert Trevor Long. Trevor, good to see you. Sony says physical game.
I mean, it's low-key already a thing of the past because, I mean, not really. I was going to say, like, these games don't even come complete. You know, they just sell a disc with half a game on it. So they like low-key halfway there anyway. But, I mean, I guess.
Physical game disc production for all new games on PlayStation consoles will be discontinued from 2028. So what exactly does this mean?
Ali, this means that the kids, the parents that used to, and still do, go to game shops, the Gamesman, EB Games, JB Hi-Fi, doesn't matter where you go, Big W, and you buy a disc or a game and you open it up and there's a disc in there, to take it home, install it and play it will no longer be possible. In fact, what you'll need to do is either you'll buy a physical thing and there'll just be a code in there, or
I mean, that's low-key what it is already.
Or you just log on to your PlayStation and browse an online store and download games in the same way that we download apps right now onto our smartphones. This is not a new thing, but you've always had the option to buy the physical disc because a lot of people love collecting games. You know, games from their childhood they might use well into the future.
There's a real nostalgia element to it, right, Trev?
There is. I mean, I still have physical games that I played on a Commodore 64 as a kid and on different platforms all the way through. Now, do I have the devices? Can I get the devices? Yes, all those things are possible. And it poses the question that a game I buy today and spend $100 odd on, will I be able to play it in 10 years?
Yeah, see, that's trash. They're raising the prices for these games while simultaneously taking away the physical copies. You know what I'm saying? It need to be one or the other, right? You either need to raise the, what am I talking about? Not raise the price. Never mind. It doesn't need to be one or the other. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? Okay.
From PlayStation, still got an internet connection. Will the game still work? Will I be able to download it because it exists only in a digital form? And that's a real worry for people because you're buying something.
When you read into the comment section today, Trevor, a lot of people are unhappy. I'm guessing that doesn't surprise you. What do you make of the reaction, and why do you think Sony has decided to make this move now?
I think it's a sad day for gaming because it takes away the beautiful moments of gaming. And no, I agree, they're not.
This seemed like something Nintendo would do. You know what I'm saying? Like, this whole time, Nintendo been the ops, but really Sony been the ops.
They're not 90% of the time. They're a very small percent of the time where a dad and son, mum and daughter, mum and son, whoever, go into a store and talk about a game and buy a game. It's not as big as it was, but it's a beautiful moment. Collecting games, that's gone, and that's what's making people upset. Plus, the idea that, do we own it? Can I play it in 10 years? Sony's doing this because they want to control the sales process. They want to control the store. And I would expect that the next PlayStation will simply not have a disc drive. That was an option with the PlayStation 5, but I think the PlayStation 6...
which sucks because, like, low key, the PlayStation 5 is also, you know, a Blu-ray console. You know what I mean? PlayStation has always had that going on for them. I said that in a recent video, you know, like it was when the PlayStation 1 came, it was also a CD player. When the PlayStation 2 came, it was also a DVD player. And, you know, I believe the Blu-ray started on the PlayStation 4, I believe. But just not being able to have that second form of physical entertainment besides gaming, that's also something that's going to be, you know, removed. That was really dope about PlayStation. Like, I have a PlayStation with a physical disc reader specifically so I can watch Blu-rays.
Whenever it comes out, will simply have no disk drive, and this is their way of readying us for that.
Just very quickly, do you think the outrage from this could prevent other electronics companies from? Heck
no. I wish. They finna look at this and like, oh, this is the model. This is the model. This is what we can get away with? Oh yeah. Cause let's be for real. They gonna do this. There's gonna be all this uproar, and everybody, including myself, is still going to get a PlayStation 6. So
I think we have to admit that this is going to change gaming forever, and I don't think the decision is reversible.
The times, they are changing. Trevor Long, thanks so much for your time.
Cheers, Ali.
Boo.
Well, it is the end of an era for gamers, with Sony PlayStation announcing that it will no longer sell video games on discs.
Yeah, the decision has really sparked.
Okay, we just gonna go ahead and watch them too. Why are they smiling so much? This isn't good news. Why is she's not a gamer. She's not a gamer, okay? Why is she smiling like this? Why is he smiling like this? She's saying it like PlayStation just released a new game. Like, run this back. Am I tripping?
Well, it is the end of an era for gamers, with Sony PlayStation announcing that it will.
What must have happened, what had to have happened is they were talking about a different topic, and then they transitioned to this topic, but they were still laughing about the old topic. That's what I'm going to go with.
No longer sell video games on discs.
Yeah, the decision has really sparked global outrage, leaving a lot of people wondering what is the future for places like EB Games, JB Hi-Fi that depend on all of this. So to break it down, we've got today tech expert Trevor Long with us in studio.
Morning.
Tech, I mean, old blokes like you and I are still mourning the cartridge.
Yeah.
And this is just another kick in the guts.
And I think that's a really good point, Tom. So, like, I'm old enough to know that this computer game here is 44 years old. This little cartridge would plug into my Commodore 64, and
Oh, this the same dude from another one. He wasn't lying, yo. He brought out the proof this time. He said, look, I got my Commodore 64 cartridge.
play Le Mans. It was a great game. And you know what? Today,
I've been that sound. Hold up.
I've still got a Commodore 64, and even if I didn't, I could buy one on eBay, and this game would still work. But what's happening now is these games are all going to be digital. So what that means is every game from 2028 on a PlayStation, you'll have to download from an online store. Very similar to how we download apps on our iPhone.
See, he a real gamer. You know what I'm saying? He know what's up. He a real gamer. These other people, they are not. Well, how do I get this on the screen?
Not new, that's been happening for a long time, but you've always had the option to go and buy a physical disc and put that in a shelf, collect it, and also, critically...
See, this is what happens when we choose convenience over things, because the way this was all presented to us initially was convenience, right? The iPod, you could have thousands of CDs with you on the go in your pocket. So convenient. You don't have to lug around a big old CD book. Y'all remember the CD books? You don't have to lug that around. You can have it all on the size of this device right here, you know? And we like, oh, that's amazing. And then, you know, the games started doing it. Or no, probably like Netflix and stuff started doing it. You don't have to have this huge physical collection. My dad, rest in peace, my dad had the biggest movie collection I've seen in my entire life. I am not exaggerating. I am not exaggerating. And then he started bootlegging movies too. So he had even more. But I'm not exaggerating. He probably had like 5,000 movies. When Netflix came out, he stopped collecting. he was like, why do I have to collect anymore? It's got everything on Netflix and Hulu, you know? And that's a shame because he had a library of movies. When we start, relying on convenience more than ownership, that's where the problem sets in. And that's when companies are able to do things like this, because we are at what's the word I'm looking for? We are beholden. Is that the word I'm looking for? Whatever, we gonna go with it. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but we're beholden to them, and what they say goes. Now, when they first came out with the digital games and stuff, we were like, man, we don't want this crap, and nobody bought anything from the PlayStation Store or any of these online stores, then yeah, we would have some say so, we'd be voting with our dollars. But they already know, based on history, that people are going to buy, and they probably taken a look at their numbers and ran them and seen we are selling selling more digital copies than physical copies, and let's be real, the majority of people who are not like gamer enthusiasts probably haven't went into a store and bought a game for who knows how long, right? And I'm not saying this like I'm for Sony, but they're probably wanting to double down on what's already making them money. I'm just saying this from a business perspective, as a business owner. They're probably wanting to double down on what already makes them money, and also obviously be able to control what we buy, completely control the market, and be reliant upon them and on their servers, right? Because, I'm sure it'll probably be like, you can't even access your game. I'm not sure, but, they'll probably be on some, you can't even access your game if you don't got a PlayStation Plus account and stupid stuff like that. You know what I mean? So this is horrible.
Critically, trade it. So once you'd finished playing a game, you could go, you know what? Kids would go, I'll trade this in. They might get 20% of the price, but that 20% would go towards their next game, and you would trade up and trade along. And also, kids and adults that couldn't afford the full price game could go into an EB Games or somewhere and buy a second-hand game, someone else's used game, and play it without having to pay the full price. That won't exist in a few years from now. And I think that's sad for the culture of gaming, and I think it's a slight on Sony.
That's why RetroGaming is king.
Is a decision.
So, I mean, what has been the reaction from the gaming community, and do you think like Nintendo will follow?
Pretty horrible reaction.
Man, low key, if it wasn't for Street Fighter 6, I probably wouldn't even, not probably, if it wasn't for Street Fighter 6, I wouldn't even have a PlayStation 5. My cousin and ChatGPT both had to convince me. I was looking up reasons on ChatGPT. Why should I get a PlayStation 5? My cousin was like, dude, it'll be dope. We can play each other. And granted, it's a dope console. I love it. Yada, yada, yada. But I am so completely okay with just playing the my Retroid Pocket Classic and my AYN Thor and playing old school games, PS1, all of that. The only reason I really got a PS5 is for Street Fighter 6.
I mean, there's a bunch of people going, that's no big deal because that's how I game anyway.
I got to put a Street Fighter sound bit after that. I'm going to say it again. The only reason that I have a PS5 is to play Street Fighter 6.
Sonic Boom!
This PlayStation 5, you could, even when it first came out years ago, you could buy it with or without a disc drive. So they knew that digital was the thing for some people. But gamers overall, people that...
Let's be for real. We all saw this coming. We just didn't know when.
Collect games, people that think about games into the future, they're pretty angry about this. And I do think, unfortunately,
it's like Michael Jackson said, they don't really care about us. He was talking about Sony. He was talking about Nintendo. He was talking about Microsoft. They don't care about us.
The industry will follow. I don't imagine it will be too long before Xbox think about the same thing. I think this is foreshadowing the next PlayStation will be entirely discless. Will the next Xbox be?
And they probably looking at like Steam, because Steam is some of the biggest competition, especially coming out with like the Steam box and stuff like that. They're like, man, Valve has a completely digital storefront. They're not spending all of this money on product placement in stores and printing up physical copies and and all of this stuff, man, they are selling everything. Why don't we just model what they did and make more money? Because, or, you know, make money. That's what I mean.
The same. Nintendo's probably a little bit further behind though, because they do have a bit of a culture of the way their games work and the kind of inserting the cards. They're already essentially digital, but that little card is a key that allows you to go, I own this game, and you could share it with your mates and things like that. And I think that ecosystem might retain itself with Nintendo, which would be a smart move. If I'm Nintendo, I'm going to stick with this so that we own that corner of the market. But discs are going to be...
Nintendo will definitely be the last to adapt. They're always the last to adapt when it comes to stuff like this.
Gone from our lives in terms of...
In my opinion, just like how long they held on to cartridges. I mean, they still holding on to cartridges to a certain extent, you know?
Of gaming, as they already have for a lot of other things, you know. I know you can still buy vinyl, but most people stream.
Yeah.
I know you can still buy movies, but most people stream. And it begs the question, will we own things in the future? If I buy my kids a game in 2028 and spend $100 on it, which, by the way, I won't be able to debate on because Big W won't sell games anymore probably, and they won't be cheaper, in 20 years or 10 years, will it still be able to be played? Will I still own that thing? And I think that's the real challenge. I don't think we're owning anything anymore.
You're getting very existential.
Yeah, right.
We're talking about...
It's not getting existential. This is how you know that she's not a gamer, because this isn't a new conversation. This is a conversation we've been having for years.
About computer
what
games.
actually exists.
What is real?
Hey, Trev, any shopping centre you go to these days, it's an EB Games or something similar.
She low-key kind of get on my nerves. Like, she doesn't take any of this serious. She's there, in my opinion, for a paycheck, right? She could care less about this one way or another. Oh, you get existential. We're just talking about video. No, this is literally what we're living in, right?
Like that. What does that mean for them now? If there's no discs, is there no business?
I think the first thing that will disappear are the gaming shelves at Target and Big W. They'll reduce quickly and then probably disappear. EB Games and the Gamesman, places like that, will sell the extra things, like steering wheels for computer game, for racing games, flight sim things. There'll be extra things they sell. So that won't be a huge challenge for them. And
I mean, even GameStop, I believe that their main source of revenue, what I heard, and I haven't delved deep into this, but their main source of revenue right now isn't even games. It's like collectibles. It's like Funko Pops and stuff like that. They are already low-key transitioning or preparing for this transition.
the consoles themselves. But it will become, you know, I wouldn't want to be EB Games in 5 to 10 years. I think that's probably going to be the long stretch for them, is going to be hard.
Like the new Video Easy or Blockbuster.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Where's Civic Video today?
Yeah, okay.
It's in your TV.
What about, I mean, I've wrapped up so many games for my kids for Christmas.
I thought she was going to say she wrapped up so many games. Like, she finished the game, like she wrapped it up, like she beat it. I was like, oh, she is a gamer. Then she said wrapped it up for a kid for Christmas. Go figure.
Getting new consoles and stuff, how does it sort of affect the decisions families are making about where they're going to go when these...
The 24 hours since this announcement, that's what's made me most kind of sad. You think about mum taking son or daughter, dad, going to the shops before Christmas and buying something or picking something.
Man, I remember when I took my daughter and son love Kirby, okay? And I remember taking my daughter to buy Kirby, Kirby Forgotten Land. Is that what it's called? But I filmed it and everything. You know what I mean? I was like, we got to get this physical. We cannot just get a digital copy. We got to get it physical. She has to have this moment. You know what I mean? Like, she has to have this moment like I have from my childhood. I could remember going to Funko Land. Do y'all remember Funko Land? Like, I took her to the store. I feel like she was like 4. You know what I mean? I filmed the whole thing. That day was dope. And I bought her like a little Kirby plush.
Something. And also, what's under the Christmas tree? You've already got a console from years ago and you want that new game. The kid has earned that new game. They've been well behaved. They've done the...
Under the Christmas tree, you just put the TV under the Christmas tree, wrap up the TV, and have it open on the PlayStation store and just select
right things. What do they get? They get a little card that says, hey, buddy, here's your download code. That's sad. The family shared gaming experience is going to disappear from the Christmas tree. And that's what I'm most upset about, is I think that that's a really fun part of gaming is, you know, my dad bought me that game, my mum bought me that game, and you know what? I got to choose it, but nowadays it's just, hey, Mum, can you, pre-order this game for me on the Xbox and it'll be ready to play on Christmas Day?
Where's the romance in that?
Yeah,
Exactly.
there isn't any. That's the answer.
They need
Romance is
Dickie's
dead.
show from before.
Yeah.
That'll help.
But yeah. So let me know how much this sucks in the comments. Appreciate you guys. God bless and salutations to the nations. Peace.
Angel Knot.